If you saw the Torenza video, would you believe it? Maybe that says more about us than about the woman from nowhere. In 1994, The Simpsons supposedly predicted an event that no one could explain. A woman arriving at JFK Airport with a passport from a country that doesn't exist. They called it Torenza, a nation said to lie somewhere between Japan and a mysterious place called Dora. It never appeared on any map, in any history book, or in any database. And yet, in 2025, a video began circulating that claimed this exact event had come true. Same details, same weird scenario. The woman's passport was flawless, her story untraceable, and her disappearance the next morning seemed impossible. Was this an eerie act of foresight? A glitch in the fabric of reality? Or another illusion born of the digital age? Tonight we unravel the truth behind the Torenza passport mystery and the strange way The Simpsons became part of it. The viral story began quietly, as many do, with a single video uploaded to TikTok. The clip looked like a professionally produced news broadcast, complete with a lower third banner, urgent background music, and a serious anchor narrating over footage of airport security officers. The headline read, "Mysterious Traveller Detained at JFK." The woman in the video appeared calm, holding out a sleek blue passport embossed with a golden emblem that read, "Republic of Torenza." The officers flipped through the pages, and every detail looked authentic. Stamps, visas, holograms, and even travel records from various countries. The reporter said customs officials were stunned. The database showed nothing. Torenza didn't exist. Their database showed no such nation. Torenza didn't exist. Yet everything about the passport suggested it should. According to the narration, the woman told authorities that Torenza was a small island nation located between Japan and Dora. The problem? There is no Dora. There never has been. The coordinates she pointed to showed nothing but open sea. The video claimed she was detained overnight for questioning, and that airport security sealed her documents for further analysis. But by morning, she was gone. Her passport, her fingerprints, even her name had vanished. The footage ended with a single chilling line from the anchor. Officials remain unsure where the traveller came from or where she went. The clip spread like wildfire. Within hours, social media platforms were flooded with speculation. Reddit threads dissected every frame. TikTok users recorded dramatic reenactments, and hashtags like #Torenza, #glitch in the Matrix, and #traveler from nowhere trended across the internet. YouTube channels specializing in mysteries began producing videos titled "The Woman from Torenza, Proof of a Parallel Universe." But one particular thread turned the story into something bigger than just a mystery when someone posted a side-by-side comparison of the video and a supposed scene from The Simpsons. The post claimed that in Season 6, Episode 10, The Simpsons had predicted the event decades earlier. It described a woman from Tokyo arriving in the US with a passport from Torenza, a country that doesn't exist.
The Torenza passport wasn't real. The Simpsons never showed it. It was just AI, fooling the world again.
The episode, according to the viral claim, aired in 1994, exactly 31 years before the real event. That coincidence, combined with the internet's fascination with Simpsons' predictions, was all it took for the story to explode beyond control. People who had ignored the video suddenly believed it might be real. After all, The Simpsons had been right before. But was the clip itself real? Not quite. Fact checkers went digging, and what they found unraveled the illusion. Independent researchers from several websites discovered that the airport footage had been pieced together from stock video libraries, the kind used in documentaries and travel vlogs. The passport images were traced back to a 3D design forum, where a digital artist had uploaded them months earlier as a concept render. Even the voice of the news anchor was synthetic, created using AI voice generation software. When analysts enhanced the frames, they found inconsistencies everywhere, distorted reflections, mismatched shadows, text that melted into gibberish, and faces that didn't quite blink right. It was an AI-generated composite designed to mimic the look of a genuine report. The mystery wasn't supernatural, it was technological. Still, there was something almost poetic about the story. It wasn't the first of its kind. The Torenza myth was eerily similar to an older legend known as the Man from Tored. In that 1954 story, a man allegedly arrived at Tokyo's Haneda airport with documents from a country that didn't exist. Officials detained him overnight, and by morning he had vanished from a locked hotel room. The torrid case was never proven. Most historians consider it a work of fiction, but it lived on in paranormal books and conspiracy circles for decades. The Torenza video was essentially an upgraded retelling of that same story, but dressed in modern clothes and powered by AI realism. The fascinating part is why people believed it. Deep down, the story appealed to something primal, our desire for mystery in a world that feels increasingly explainable.
One image, one lie, and the world believed in Torenza.
Every era has its myths. Sea monsters in the 1800s, UFO sightings in the 1950s, time travelers in the 1980s. The 2020s have AI, and with that, our myths have evolved from blurry photographs to pixel-perfect simulations. The Torenza passport looked real because it was built using the same digital tools that power the movies we already trust. When fiction becomes indistinguishable from news, even the skeptical start to wonder, what if? And then came the twist that sealed it into internet folklore, the supposed Simpsons prediction. People began hunting for evidence. Screenshots emerged online showing Marge and Homer at an airport, a woman in a pink jacket handing over a passport stamped Torenza. In another image, Lisa stared at a glowing map where the country should have been. It was convincing enough for casual viewers to believe it. But here's the truth, none of those images were real. They were AI-generated fan edits, splicing Simpsons characters into recreated backgrounds. The actual Season 6, Episode 10, titled Grandpa vs. Sexual Inadequacy, is a light-hearted story about Homer and Grandpa selling homemade aphrodisiac tonic. No airports, no passports, no parallel universes. The reason people were so quick to believe the connection lies in what's known as the Simpsons prediction effect. Over the years, The Simpsons has become legendary for apparently foretelling the future, from Donald Trump's presidency to smartwatches, video calls, and even the Disney-Fox merger. But most of these predictions are coincidences or reinterpretations. The show has produced over 700 episodes across 3 decades, covering nearly every cultural and political theme imaginable. Given that vast library, it's inevitable that some jokes will eventually mirror reality. What's remarkable is not that The Simpsons predicted the future, but that the internet keeps rewriting the past to fit those predictions. The fake Torenza episode is a perfect example of that phenomenon in action. It plays on nostalgia, that warm, fuzzy familiarity that makes people trust something simply because it feels like part of their childhood. When viewers saw yellow cartoon characters reacting to the same passport story they had just seen online, their brains filled in the blanks. It didn't matter that the episode never existed, it felt like it could have. That's the new frontier of misinformation, one that doesn't need facts, only emotional resonance. And this is where the story becomes less about Torenza and more about us. The Torenza passport isn't a mystery about geography, it's a mystery about perception. It's proof that our collective sense of reality can be rewritten by a convincing video and a shared belief. We're living in a time when AI can fabricate not just images, but narratives, complete with fake sources, fake memories, and even fake nostalgia. Decades ago, a hoax needed grainy photos and wild imagination. Today, it needs only 30 seconds of video and an algorithm trained on what we already trust. It wasn't just the mystery of a disappearing traveler, it was the realization that anyone, anywhere, can now create a world that looks perfectly real. It's unsettling, but also fascinating. It challenges how we define truth. The Torenza incident is a warning wrapped in entertainment, a glimpse of how myths will evolve in the AI era. They won't come from ghost stories or UFO sightings anymore. They'll come from code, from synthetic media that looks indistinguishable from the news. And then there's The Simpsons, the accidental oracle of modern times. The show has become a cultural mirror, so ingrained in our collective psyche that people now use it as a reference point for reality itself. When something bizarre happens, we ask not, is it real? But, did The Simpsons predict it? That's how deep the myth runs. In the case of Torenza, the show didn't predict anything. Instead, it was used as validation. So what does it all mean? Maybe The Simpsons didn't predict Torenza at all. Maybe Torenza predicted us, a world so entangled in technology and nostalgia that it can no longer tell fact from fiction. A world where every viral clip feels half real, half simulation. The mystery isn't in the passport, or the airport, or even the woman who supposedly vanished. The real mystery is why we wanted it to be true. Because if Torenza existed, then maybe our world still had hidden corners, uncharted places left to discover. Maybe, in an era where algorithms know everything, in the end, the Torenza incident will likely fade like every viral hoax before it. But the pattern it revealed, that's not going anywhere. Where a fake news clip can fool millions, and a cartoon from the 90s can be reimagined as a prophecy. Perhaps that's the real prediction here. Not a glimpse of a woman from another world, but a reflection of our own. A world that no longer asks whether something is true. So no, The Simpsons didn't predict the Torenza passport. No vanishing traveler, no secret episode from 1994. But the story still matters. It reminds us how fragile truth has become, how easily stories can shape what we believe. Maybe that's what makes the Torenza mystery so haunting. Not because it's real, but because it could be. And that possibility alone is enough to make millions believe. Maybe, just maybe, that's the future The Simpsons really predicted. Not Torenza itself, but a world where fiction and reality are one viral clip away from switching places.